And we're live! Hi, everyone. Welcome to Plays in the House Teen Edition. We're doing something a little different. We had a play scheduled, but we didn't really feel like it was appropriate, going on right now. So we asked some of our friends to read and sing and express honestly how they're feeling and express their right to freedom of speech. We want to warn you guys before the show starts that if there's any children watching, that there is going to be strong language and some graphic images that they might not be ready for. But this, we hope you really enjoy it. I brought my parents with me this time.
I was wondering if you were going to introduce us, just in case you have viewers who don't know who in the heck we are.
This is my dad, James Wesley, and this is my dad, Seth Rudetsky.
Seth, why are you glaring?
Because I'm fascinated by that's the camera, but we can't. Either I look crazy or I look at the camera.
And you still look crazy?
I know, because the camera's so far down.
High.
We'll figure it out one day.
But
anyway, I wanted them to come on so we could talk a little about what we did yesterday.
Yeah, that was, we live about an hour outside New York City. And, you hear about all of these demonstrations and protests, which are great, going all over the country, but you mainly hear about it in the big cities. But there are, in fact, a lot happening in small towns. And we went to one of them yesterday, and I'm going to bet it was probably the biggest protest they've ever had in the history of this town. We were in the back. Everyone wore masks.
Everyone. I didn't see one person without a mask on, which was amazing to see.
Right.
And people, even though they were closed, some people were practicing social distancing during this time.
We certainly were.
We couldn't. It was hard to keep 6 feet away. There we are.
I made signs for everybody. I mean, around
and by everybody, you mean
everybody.
Strangers.
I just brought around. I think I made 25 posters.
You basically didn't get any sleep the night before.
Oh yeah, but it was so worth it. I made so many, and I handed them out. I said, "Who needs a poster?" And they were gone within seconds. So.
Yeah, they really were.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but I feel like we kept our distance, we were as much as we could. We kind of stayed in the back. We were there with friends, but we told our friends ahead of time so we wouldn't feel the pressure, the peer pressure of needing to stay with them. And so we kept, I wouldn't say 6 feet, but I'd say we kept probably 4 feet, 4 to 5 feet the whole time. We tried our best, but had our mask and eye protective gear on.
Washed the hell out of our hands. We got home.
That's right.
I double masked it because I have immune problems. So just wanted to make sure I was okay. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
So, Julie Wesley. Okay, Seth, do you want to read? Because we started on Stars in the House on Monday. Regular Stars in the House that we host. It had been for the Actors Fund, and we switched over to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund on Monday. And we've been talking about that. But you want to describe in case people don't know what it is.
Yeah, just because we feel this is a big worldwide civil rights struggle and we wanted to join forces. So now we are benefiting the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. And you may say, what is that? I'll tell you. NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund Incorporated is America's premier legal organization fighting for racial justice. Through litigation, that means fighting in court, advocacy, and public education, LDF seeks structural changes to expand democracy, eliminate disparities, and achieve racial justice in a society that fulfills the promise of equality for all Americans. Legal Defense Fund also defends the gains and protections won over the past 75 years of civil rights struggle and works to improve the quality and diversity of judicial and executive appointments.
Which is extremely important now.
And so last night, Seth and I hosted four Phantoms, right? Phantom Reunion, and as you may probably know, Phantom of the Opera is a big international show, and it had a lot of fans. So we, like you see right there, NAACP, ldf.org/stars in the house to donate. But we want to just give some that's on there. Sure. We want to give some shout outs to people who gave last night that watched it, after we had aired, and we would just want to say thank you because they went to the trouble of forwarding their donation receipt. So we want to thank Brittany, who gave $150. Jan from Boulder, Colorado, $50 in honor of Norm Lewis, my hero. Alina, $100. Her 30th year as a fangirl.
Phantom girl.
Right. Melanie, $10. Jessica from Philadelphia, $100. Madeline, $50. Leslie, $5. Cheryl and Bob gave $20.
Cheryl?
Cheryl and Bob, $20. Vienna, $25. P. Marty, I love that. P. Marty, $25. James F., $25. Haley, $25 in honor of wife's birthday.
Wow.
Abra, Chip, Molly, Jack Leonard, and Grandma Patty all gave $50 in honor of Norm Lewis.
Wow.
Patricia, $25. Daniel and Caitlin, the Ultimate Fans, $20. Allison, $10. Dallas from New York City, not to be confused with the city of Dallas. Dallas from New York City, $50.
Wow.
Lisa, $50, who grew up with Norm in Orlando.
Ah.
Alex G, Jan, $50. Chloe, $40. Hillary, $50. And Lindsay, $20, all for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. And those are just what came in. So feel free to give.
Yes, please
I think
donate.
you'll be inspired. I think you'll be inspired by what you're about to see.
It's
what else,
really,
Julie?
honestly, such a powerful message. And I'm so happy we have amazing young people because we honestly are the future and we will make the biggest change out of everybody.
Yeah, us three young people will make the biggest changes.
It is funny.
Anywho,
Seth, do you want to read off?
Well, I'm used to being next to you on camera. I just being next to a 19-year-old. Never felt haggier. Yes.
But next week we are back on for the regular scheduled Plays in the House Teen Edition at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Are we
want
next
to read
week?
it? Yeah.
By the way, don't forget Anika Larson always directs our amazing plays.
The amazing Anika Larson. We could not be here without you. Thank you.
Hi, Anika.
And also our tech guy, Jason Casperin.
Who's down south, right?
Yes, in Dallas.
Amarillo,
Amarillo.
Texas.
He's from Texas. Theme song.
Mm-hmm.
Next Sunday, 2 o'clock, we're going to be back with an actual play instead of like today's amazing conglomeration of amazingness.
A free speech.
Yes. It's going to be called Oz. Oh my God, these names I have to read. It's called Oz, and it's by Don Zolidis. I think that's how we pronounce it. It stars Julia Cassandra, Brittany Johnson, Elisa Melendez, Shia Oni, Kevin Wang, and JJ Willis.
Okay, guys, here it is. Free speech.
Hello, I'm Maria Analia. I'm 15 and I live in New Jersey. The piece I'm going to be singing is by the legendary Bill Withers, and I think this song is very relevant to our time right now because this is a fight everybody has to care about, and in order to combat racial injustice, allyship is very important. So here is Lean on Me. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be a friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be a friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Call me if you need a friend. Call me. Call me. Call me. Call me. Call me. Call me. Thank you. Micah, I believe.
Hi, that was really amazing, Maria.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Micah Lawrence. I'm 19 years old. I am from Phoenix, Arizona, but I'm currently in Greeley, Colorado. Today, I will be sharing a personal story that I wrote. I want to start this off by saying not only am I a proud Black man, but I am proud to be a mixed-race minority man. I'll be honest, growing up, it was hard to fit in. I went to a predominantly white private charter school from elementary school through junior high, where I went through multiple years of bullying and segregation due to the color of my skin. It wasn't just my peers. I dealt with cases from school officials as well. I learned from a young age that racism isn't a trait you're born with, but it's something that you're taught. Because of this and other personal factors, I struggled to find my place in social settings. I struggled with my appearance because I was told I was not beautiful because of the color of my skin, the texture of my hair, because of the way I dressed, the music I listened to. And like any other young man, I was struggling to find who I was, but it was even harder because I hated who I was. Racism broke me. Let that sink in. Racism caused me and so many others who look like me to struggle developing into a young man or woman because we couldn't feel comfortable in our own skin. As I started to mature towards my high school years, I became more educated on the events occurring to Black men and women in this country. Unlike a lot of my peers, when I would go home after school, it wasn't just the average "how was your day" conversations, but I was getting lectured on how to avoid being a target to hate crimes, how to avoid catching the eye of authority for the wrong reason, and what to do in the instance I have an interaction with police. When I got my driver's license, it was even more important to be well educated on traffic laws and on my rights because I was being sent off into the world for the first time without my parents right there to protect me. As a Black man, I should not have a target on my back for the color of my skin. I should not fear that if I decided to wear a hoodie that I'll be labeled as a thug and possibly lose my life. I should not fear that wearing colors such as red and blue, I'll be labeled as a gangbanger. I should not fear that if I'm approached by the police that I might not get to see my friends and family again. But I do. I am one of the lucky ones left to have air left in my lungs, blood left in my veins, and a platform to enlighten those who may not understand our struggle. When we scream Black Lives Matter, we aren't saying that white lives don't. We're saying our lives matter too. We are fighting to have our voices heard, our stories acknowledged, and justice to be served for the Black lives that were stolen from this world. So I encourage every last one of you to stand up and take action. Go sign a petition, go peacefully protest, contact your local and state government officials. Be the change. If we unite together as one human race, we can rise up and fight against racism that floods our world. Thank you to everyone, and please be safe out there. Up next, we have some lovely words from Maya Bishop.
That was beautiful, Micah. Thank you for sharing your words.
Thank you.
I will be reading New York City by Audre Lorde. I'm Maya Bishop. I'm 15 years old. How do you spell change like frayed slogan underwear with the emptied can of yesterday's meanings with yesterday's names? And what does the wee bird see with who has lost its eyes? There's nothing beautiful left in the streets of the city. I've come to believe in death and renewal by fire, past questioning the necessities of blood, or why it must be mine or my children's time that will see the grim city quake, to be reborn perhaps, blackened again, but this time with a sense of purpose. Tired of the past tense forever, of assertion and repetition, of the ego trips through an incomplete self where 2 years ago proud rang for promise, but now it is time for fruit, and all the agonies are barren. Only the children are growing. And how else can the self become whole, save by making self into its own new religion? Yet I am bound like an old lover, a true believer, to this city's death by accretion and slow ritual, and I submit to its penance for a trial as new steel is tried. I submit my children also to its agonies, and they are not the city's past lovers, but I submit them to the harshness and grown cold to the brutalizations which have survived will teach them strength, or an understanding of how strength is gotten, and will not be forgotten. It will be their city then. I submit them, loving them above all others, save myself, to the fire, to the rage, to the ritual sacrifications, to be tried as new steel is tried. And in its wasting the city shall try them, as the blood splash of a royal victim tries the hand of the destroyer. Thank you. Next up, we have the Braganza sisters.
Hi, Maya Bishop. That was so amazing.
Thank you.
We're the Braganza sisters. I'm Adriana. I'm 13.
I'm Amaya. I'm 17.
I'm Anika. I'm 21. We're here in New York City.
And we will be performing It's You I Like by Mr. Fred Rogers.
Someone who taught us to always be kind to our neighbors and that at the end of the day, we're all human. So, let's do this. Okay. 1, 2.
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
It's you I like. Not the things you wear. It's not the way you do your hair. But it's you I like. The way you walk out now. The way it down deep inside you. Not the things that hide you. Not your toys that just be beside you. But it's you I like. Every part of you. Your skin, your eyes, your feelings. Whether old or new. And I hope that you remember. Even when you're feeling blue. That it's you I like. It's you yourself. It's you. It's you I like.
Next up is the wonderful Olivia Ridley.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much. That was absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Hi there. My name is Olivia Ridley and I am 17 years old and I live in New Jersey. The piece I'm reading today is an original piece, mostly having to do with slavery. I think in times like these, it is absolutely critical to recognize the bloody roots of this country. What it was built upon and what it stood for. The fact is the U.S. rose from slavery at its foundation, and it provided the very substructure of everything that this nation was and what it can be today. When you have a nation born from such a deeply rooted institution, it is inevitable that it will have a legacy. I say that to say that racism is not dead, and I suppose all of this is why. So this poem describes a scene between slave master and slave, and I really appreciate your ears. This is called Antebellum Renaissance, and it's by me, Olivia Ridley. Have you heard of the antebellum Renaissance? Among the men who soaked the soft soil with blood that was not their own, to water the flesh-eating roots of green money trees that were. A new kind of art blossomed. You know, those southern men, they were the strangest painters. They hold their blood-soaked brushes firm in preparation as they gaze at their canvas waiting, letting sickening anticipation fill the summer air until suddenly, now, with one swift stroke of a whip, they paint wild red lines on the naked black backs of their canvases, and suddenly, painter is maestro, and brush is now baton, and he conducts his chorus furiously and unyielding because they refuse to sing. His satisfaction lies confined behind their clenched teeth. They will not give in, they will not give in, and he continues, crack! They have missed their entrance. Crack! They have missed their entrance. Crack! They start. In piano, a sound, barely a whisper, but it festers and it grows. Crack! Sound is growing now, beating on the back of desperately clenched teeth. Crack! Sweat begins to sting flaming gashes, and there is fire biting at your back. Crack! Embers glow. Crack! Embers rise. Crack! Fire blossoms. And now the chorus comes in. And the chorus. What strange singers. Their throats are raw like their pinkened skin. Their dirge is crooked and cacophonous and odd. Their song falls from the chapped lips of a twisted tongue. They begin to taste blood. Dance, shouts the man, and the chorus complies. Dance, their bodies convulse and curl as they claw at the ground, searching for anything, fingers knowing the pursuit is futile. Dance somewhere, broken black bodies sway to howling winds' estranged rhythm. Dance somewhere, calloused feet wander aimlessly on purgatorial soil. In futile escape, for your blood is on the wind, and clouds have plagued the sky, and you cannot see the stars. Dance, monkey, dance. The antebellum Renaissance was a hot, hellish summer, with a merciless sun left to reign for far too long. But, as most things are on this strange planet, it was not immortal. And if only for a few hours each evening, it expired with the sunset. And the calm of night returns. Your skin is kissed with its cool air, and you are restored with restless and festering life. You cannot sit still, and so you dance. And it is honest, and it is beautiful, and your gray souls kiss the ground wildly, desperately, with life and with passion, and you feel free and freedom. Freedom. Its wind echoes through whispering leaves, and though it is quiet and faint in its distance, though you may not live to feel its breeze, it will come. You know it will. And so you breathe. And the scent of magnolia lingers. Thank you so very much for having me. Journey?
Yes, hi. Oh my gosh, Olivia, that was just amazing. Thank you so much, by the way. Hi, everyone. My name is Journey McGee. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, but I live in Los Angeles, California, and I'm 14 years old. And this is a piece I wrote. It's called The Threat. I didn't know that because of my skin color that made me a thug. I guess it's something that's out of my control. I'm less than a human. I didn't know that the undeniable rights that everyone is supposed to have don't belong to me because I'm darker. I guess that because I have flavor, I also have a target on my back. I didn't know that because of the way I look, I'm not supposed to go outside. Or that if I go into a store, I'm obviously going to steal something. Or that I'm just obviously undereducated because I just have to live in a poor neighborhood. Right? I guess that the country that claims to be home of the free isn't free to me. That they don't even want me here. That in their eyes, I'm just something that can be bought and sold. That I should be treated with less respect than a dog because, God forbid, I actually have feelings. Am I that much of a threat to you that you have to kill me and all of my people without a reason? Why do you view us that way? We're not a threat to you. In fact, you're the threat to us. Thank you so much, everyone. Next up is Tammy Shells.
Hey, Journey, thanks so much for sharing that beautiful piece. So wonderful. Hello, my name is Tammy Shells, and I am from Amarillo, Texas. And today I'll be sharing with you a video that I put together with some images from history over a song written by Abel Meeropol and made popular by Billie Holiday and Nina Simone. It's called Strange Fruit. I encourage you just to watch the video. It's a space for mourning with everything that's going on. I just wanted to take a moment and really consider history. I once had a teacher tell me, we learn about history so that we make sure that it doesn't repeat itself. And I'm not so sure some of the history we learned is history. Some of it we're living through right now. Some of it is very real and hasn't changed at all. And so I hope that in the images you see some of the parallels and you're encouraged to take what you've learned about history and help to rewrite the narrative and give a voice to people who weren't initially in the room that would decide what their fate in this country would be. So I hope you enjoy the video. Yes, thanks so much.
Southern trees.
Oh, police shot this boy outside my apartment.
Bearing strange fruit. Blood on the leaf.
You can't have that, son. Your children can't have the chance to develop whatever talents they have.
And blood.
The only way that they're going to get their right is to go in the street and demonstrate.
Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar tree. Pastoral
we're honoring the founding fathers who were white. We're honoring all of the great white men who are being smeared and defamed.
Them big bulging eyes. twisted mouth. Scent of magnolia, clean and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh.
After they shot and killed my son, flash grenades were thrown, landing on his body.
Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck. For the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the
When detectives arrived at the scene at 1:45 p.m., Arbery was dead.
Here is strange and bitter.
Thanks so much for watching. Next up, we have Mayan performing a piece of spoken word.
Wow, that was amazing. Hi, I'm Mayan Lynch. I'm from California. I'm 14, and I'll be doing a poem, Still I Rise, by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come at a surprise that I dance like I've got gold, like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestor gave. I am the dreams and the hope of a slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Thank you. Up next is Chad Johnson.
Thank you, Mayan. My name is Chek. I'm a 16-year-old from Brooklyn, New York, and I will be performing an original piece that I chose to leave untitled. Bodies in piles, badge in the bin. It's hard to fit the uniform around the hood that they're in. It's 12 below 7 in Philando. Cops ain't giving them shit, but let my homie sell some weed, his ass is doing a bid. I bet my blackness on the fact this song ain't going away, but generational wealth could teach generations of hate and lead to brothers and sisters finally turning the page. They stole our culture, our cooking, and Chloe even stole color. And while they say they're our allies, we must look out for each other. Because at the end of the day, only we can know us. Imitation is flattering, but it will not buy you trust, and thus fight for us, not with. For you don't fear the same fears, nor have you felt the same whips. Land of the free. But fine print says, except for niggas with voices. They say don't kneel, but don't riot. Thank you for all of those choices. The subtext is, just shut up and suck it up. We ain't changing. We will distort every message and demonize every saying, but I don't care. You won't Langston Hughes my dreams. I will see racial justice and justice-serving police and public officials giving us platforms meant to uplift and not just treating Black voters like fucking playing card chips. And if I don't see it, my sister will. I pray for that too. Because just the other day she asked me, Cherry, what do we do? Mama told me she gets worried whenever you go to school or even walk through the park because they just might target you. And she is 7 and aware. And that makes me sick. But think about George Floyd's daughter who has to live without him, who has to live with that video constantly linked to her name. While you may see it on Insta, you do not know Black pain. Thank you. Up next is Shia Oni.
Thank you, Che. That was absolutely incredible. And thank you also to Plays in the House Teen Edition for having me. Hi, my name is Shia Oni. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm 18 years old. First off, I just wanted to say I fully understand how difficult it's been for everyone this past week. And I know firsthand that the fight for equality is not an easy one. So I want to continue to encourage everyone to do all that you can to help the push for Black rights in America, whether it be through donations, through signing petitions. That being said, I also think that it's important to take a step back and consider what we're doing all this for. You know, I think that our collective aim is to someday live in a world where people aren't discriminated against for the color of their skin. A world where everyone can feel safe walking the streets of their own neighborhood. A world where prejudice and bias don't plague the minds of our citizens. And I think that this song perfectly encapsulates our country's clear end goal. So, without any further ado, here is Imagine by John Lennon. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Oh, I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can, yeah. No need for greed or hunger. Oh, a brotherhood of man. Oh, imagine all the people sharing all the world. may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Oh, I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Thank you so much for letting me close this out. And thanks again to Plays in the House for having me. This has been a great time. I would like to request that if you were moved by anything you saw this afternoon, please consider donating to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. It would mean the world to us. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for being here. Black Lives Matter.